Welcome to Meet Me at the Movies. I'm Noel T. Manning II, and today we're going to dive into the high-octane world of F1, the movie. I like to say F1, the motion picture. It just sounds more cinematic. That's just me. That's just me talking. Filmmaker, director Joe Kosinski is going to be joining us today to talk about this film. It was released back in the summer of 25. It crossed the box office finish line with over $650 million worldwide. Audiences connected with this. It earned an A cinema score and also a Rotten Tomatoes audience score of 97%. And here we are in awards season, and F1 is still getting some love, very much in the conversation and categories. Numerous technical categories. Golden Globe nominations 2, Critics' Choice Award nominations 7, and growing recognition from other critics and awards groups across the globe. Joe Kosinski joining us right here today to talk about how the sights and the sounds and that emotional pulse of F1 came to life on the big screen. Let's hit that ignition switch and see what Joe has to say. Hi, Joe. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us right here on Meet Me at the Movies. Glad to have you with us talking about F1. As I think about the many films you have, I think about Tron Legacy, Top Gun Maverick, and F1. You seem drawn to explore relationships between generations, and I'd love for you to talk specifically about how technology plays within those relationships. We definitely see that in F1. And are there anything that you think personally you brought away from relationships and exploring that technology in F1 specifically?
Yeah, it's interesting that you've kind of drawn that, looking back at those three movies. Even Only the Brave is another one, I think, where you could probably throw in the mix. But for me, it's about telling relatable stories in these incredible worlds and looking for themes and relationships that anyone can relate to, even if you don't know anything about naval aviation or Formula One racing. So it's about taking the audience into this world that they'd never be a part of and showing them something incredible and exciting and cinematic and taking them on a journey. So I'm always looking for those relatable stories that, are emotional, but also looking for, that reason to watch it on the biggest screen possible, because I think that's our job as directors now more than ever, is to get people out of their homes into a theater and telling stories that demand to be seen on the biggest screen possible.
And this is one of those films, without a doubt, the biggest screen, the best sound. It is such an immersive experience, as so many of your other films. And I tell you, just the beauty of watching the camera work. And kudos to cinematographer Claudio Miranda. You've worked with Claudio, I think 6 of your feature films so far, if I'm keeping track there, maybe more.
6 times.
If you could talk about that creative partnership that maybe has influenced your journey as a filmmaker.
Yeah, well, Claudio is first and foremost an incredible artist, but also he's a bit of a mad scientist and always willing to, embrace a new challenge. And with almost every film we've done, there's been something we've had to invent or innovate in order to pull it off, going back to Tron Legacy or Oblivion. Certainly with Formula One, it was about how do we capture the speed of these cars in a way that doesn't slow them down. And that meant basically inventing a brand new camera system in order to shoot this film. And Claudio and his team did an incredible job pulling that off.
It truly is the art and science of filmmaking combined, what you are continuing to do. And I just thank you for continuing to explore that and give that experience to us as audience members. It is a beautiful thing to be a part of, for sure. And I want to thank you for that. Going back to this film and the cinematography, was there a particular complex moment or sequence in F1 that you can point to that you maybe felt like was the culmination of your many years of working together?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many technical challenges on this film. I think the most challenging sequence was probably the Las Vegas sequence, and that is because we only got a 15-minute window, one slot on that track at night to pull that whole scene off. and it meant everyone, cast and crew, pulling together. Brad and Damson had never driven that track before, so they're going out and driving it for the first time on screen. It was cold, the tires had no grip. It's an intense scene, as you know, if you've seen the film. And everyone just kind of came together. The technology worked. We were able to pull it off in that very short window and deliver what is, I think, one of the most important and one of my favorite scenes in the film.
I mentioned that this is a film where sight and sound combine to create the experience. And I think about the score from Hans Zimmer, along with those needle drops from so many different artists. What do you feel are some of the important aspects, the conversations maybe you have with the music department to find that balance between score and a soundtrack?
Yeah, well, when you're working with Hans Zimmer, you're working with one of the best composers ever. It was important to me that there be a theme, a melody, something that kind of pulls this whole film together. And Hans is the best at doing that. So once we had a theme, we were able to kind of work it into different parts of the film and play the kind of orchestral side of it into the more dramatic scenes. We were able to use that theme in one of the songs. Lose My Mind, is actually a song built on the melody that Hans did. So it's nice when you have that synergy between a song and score. And then otherwise, it was just working with all these incredible artists to find those moments where, anyone who's been to an F1 race, it is like being at a music festival. The soundtrack is nonstop and constant. So I wanted to capture both that festival-like atmosphere, but also just the global nature of Formula One as a sport. So we've got artists from all around the world contributing to this soundtrack. We've got Hans Zimmer's score, which is unbelievable. And then putting it all together, working with my crew at Skywalker Sound to mix it all together. It was a very complex mix, but ultimately I think they pulled it off. So very proud of everyone who worked on the film.
Hey, Joe, thanks for your time and thanks for bringing the film to the big screen where it belongs, and best of success for you as we move through FYC season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
See ya.
Many thanks to Joe Kosinski for spending time with us right here on Meet Me at the Movies, talking about F1, the movie. You remember what I said, F1, the motion picture. You can check out this flick on physical media wherever you choose to purchase, or you can also find it on Apple TV Plus now. Thanks for joining us right here on Spectrum Channel C19 TV. For Meet Me at the Movies, I'm Noel T. Manning II. That's a wrap.
Won't you come and meet me at the movies? Won't you come and watch a